After the season, and when I was in my press conference and I was talking about being sexualized, like, I guess people thought that was like because I post pictures in my bathing suits. No, like, multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me, like, naked.
What does that have to do with Caitlin Clark?
Angel Reese designed herself as Barbie or whatever she did and took her clothes off for Instagram and posed and all this stuff. What happened? She claimed to be sexualized. What is that? Drama. Total drama.
She puts herself out there, even on this podcast. Stomach out, breasts barely hidden, legs front and center everywhere. She has sexualized herself. And now, oh, I'm shocked. People are sexualizing me. And somehow she's connecting it to being a Caitlin Clark fan. I just don't see the connection. It's like everything bad that happens to me is somehow connected to Caitlin Clark. That's stupid, it's dishonest. She's just clout chasing. She's using Caitlin Clark. And then she goes, I don't think Caitlin Clark has hatred towards me. What has Caitlin Clark done to you? Nothing.
Is pure, unadulterated jealousy.
I think Angel Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark.
Is the WNBA at a breaking point? Caitlin Clark, the league's shining star, has faced relentless brutality on the court, and fans are furious. With Commissioner Kathy Engelbert seemingly silent and the league's reputation on the line, what's really going on behind the scenes? In this video, we dive into the controversies, the clashes, and the shocking moments that are shaping the future of women's basketball.
Nobody says you have to be in love with anybody else, but if you're going to do an Indiana Wings game, you're going to have to talk about Caitlin Clark and her great teammates.
From intense on-court rivalries to heated debates about race and favoritism, we uncover why the league is in crisis and what it means for its most electrifying player. Buckle up, because this is more than just basketball. This is a battle for the soul of the WNBA.
This is a girl that came in and garnered more attention than others in the game. That's what happened. It's that simple. Serena told Caitlin Clark, I freaking love this, that there's no race involved. And Serena is black, okay? So here's what Serena Williams said to Caitlin Clark. No matter what other people do, if people are negative, then it's because they can't do what you do.
Bingo.
Good for you to say something like that, right? Hopefully she'll continue to do what she's doing. This is a GOAT. African-American women.
I just love that she tries to stay grounded, and she says she doesn't, what did she say? She doesn't have a social, she doesn't look at her social, and I get it. I don't either. And I think it's so important to continue to do what she's doing, and no matter what other people do, then if people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do.
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are really making waves in the WNBA world. It's clear that fans and sports enthusiasts are getting more and more frustrated. What's got everyone so worked up? Before we dive into the content, could you do me a favor and show some love by liking this video and subscribing to the channel? By hitting the bell icon, you'll stay in the loop with all the latest updates. Let's dive into it now. The WNBA is currently facing significant criticism due to two major issues. Recently, I came across a video that sparked a lot of discussion regarding Diamond DeShields and what some are characterizing as an aggressive play against Caitlin Clark during a recent game. The WNBA itself even made a post about this incident, which I'll discuss in more detail shortly. Before delving into that, let's take a closer look at the foul that occurred during the game last night.
Angel Reese is playing against Caitlin Clark, okay? They have this big game going on. Neither one of them are the best teams in the league, but she gets fouled, Caitlin Clark does, and this is how Angel Reese, who she became a champion, by the way, in college. I think she won the championship. Caitlin Clark in the championship.
Exactly, 2 years ago.
However, for whatever reason, the audience likes watching Caitlin more because she's more exciting than Angel, but watch what she says after the way she fouls Caitlin Clark. Go ahead and play this clip.
For inside, I mean, I think we were playing really hard. I think we went up really strong a lot of times and we didn't get a lot of calls. And going back and looking at the film, I've seen a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got a special whistle.
During the game, it seemed like a moment straight out of a football match. Diamond DeShields made a forceful takedown of Caitlin Clark, leaving everyone stunned. Many were quick to label it as a flagrant foul, and fans were understandably outraged, especially considering that this wasn't the first time such an incident had occurred.
Diamond DeShield received racist threats after Caitlin Clark flagrant foul.
She's going to face a level of racism from black players.
I think it is pure, unadulterated jealousy.
I remember Kennedy Carter. It's been a recurring theme. One fan even said, "Stop the targeted hits before someone gets seriously hurt. What is wrong with you people?" Now, you might be thinking, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
We don't get to say, well, Joe Rogan is #1 and we are important too, because that's not how podcasting competition works. You know who tells you you're good? The flipping market tells you you're good.
When Angel Reese comes out and says she ain't the only one everybody's watching, they're watching me too, they're watching others. A day later, she gets ejected.
The source of my frustration is a recent social media post from the WNBA. The post highlighted the significant impact of newcomers Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, emphasizing their ability to redefine the rookie experience.
And the last clip from Angel Reese, they're watching me too. They're watching me too. It's like she's begging us to believe in her validation. And so people need to see, I think history is repeating itself, and Caitlin Clark could be raising the tide and lifting all boats. And I think Angel Reese needs to take a pill.
The WNBA praised them for shaping the future of women's basketball and emphasized their unstoppable nature, asserting that the next generation has arrived. The post concluded with a welcoming message to the W.
Angel Reese isn't just breaking rookie records. They're breaking W records. We shouldn't hate on somebody who's actually doing her job.
Last night's game really stirred up a lot of emotions among fans, especially after the intense performances by Andre Drummond and Angel Reese. Caitlin's recent stellar form over the past 8 to 10 weeks has also heightened the excitement.
You know what Caitlin Clark said when she got fouled this hard?
What's going through my mind is I need to make these 2 free throws. That's all I'm thinking about. It's just a part of basketball. It is what it is. You know, trying to make a play on the ball and get the block. But yeah, I mean, it happens. And those free throws, when you have to shoot them with nobody at the line, are kind of hard. So it's a little different than having people at the line. So I was just trying to focus on making those.
Last night's basketball game was broadcast on ION, a popular free-to-air channel, attracting a large audience. Many passionate fans expressed their dissatisfaction, emphasizing, "Enough with the comparisons between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark."
You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Wow.
Okay? 15,300.
That could do what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA or for any league.
The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
There's nothing, Shannon. You just want to support that white girl. She busting y'all ass. If you like Caitlin Clark, you gotta hate Angel. And if you love Angel, you can't say anything good about Caitlin Clark. Y'all can't tell me what the F to say. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Yeah.
The frustration among fans was evident and palpable. Many fans have expressed frustration with the current pairing of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. There is a prevailing sentiment that Angel is perceived as more of a supporting player, while Caitlin is viewed as the true superstar. This has led to considerable discussion and debate within the fan community about the dynamic between the two players and its impact on the team.
But every time you see something relative to Angel Reese, what's it about? It's about her. It's not about her team, it's about her. One makes it about her, the other makes it about us.
The WNBA is facing significant backlash for not addressing a controversial foul that occurred during a recent game. Many fans are expressing frustration with the league's perceived lack of action on the matter. After the WNBA made a social media post about the incident, it quickly became evident that they were going to receive significant criticism, and they indeed did.
Everybody loves a winner, and tonight the Atlanta Dream set the record for the biggest crowd to watch a WNBA game in Georgia history.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
No one cares what skin color you are. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We absolutely love one thing. You know what it is? Underdogs. We don't care about your color. We don't care if you're married, single, divorced. We don't care about anything. We love humble underdogs. We just do.
Before the Chicago game, Caitlin Clark was considered a heavy favorite with odds of -3,000, indicating a strong likelihood of winning. However, this comparison highlights the contrast between greatness and mediocrity, prompting the question of when such distinctions will be recognized.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
The current sentiment among fans indicates widespread disillusionment with the narrative surrounding Angel Reese. It's a widely held belief that her impact on college basketball has been underwhelming, and expectations for her performance in the WNBA are not particularly high either. Caitlin Clark's remarkable performance in college basketball has set her apart, breaking multiple records and propelling her into the WNBA. She has not only excelled individually, but also elevated her team from being the worst in the league to a strong playoff contender. The relentless comparisons to others are now a thing of the past as she continues to carve her own path to success.
I don't think the WNBA is ready for this type of attention that she's bringing. Racism. Everybody's talking about enough with the racist BS. She's nasty. She knows how to ball. Everybody else is jealous. They're pissed off because you're getting this, like, it's ridiculous. And we're never going to advance as a species, and we're never, if he keeps having that type of attitude. It's ridiculous. It's like, what? Everything has to go back to race. Everything has to keep going back to race. She's really good. Let it be that. And the other players should shut the hell up. Like, nobody was talking about your league. Nobody cared about the WNBA until that girl, Caitlin Clark, I don't care what color she is, she's ridiculous, she's nasty, and now people are watching, and you guys are talking shit about her. She should leave. She should have got those other contracts. Where does she have a contract to go somewhere else?
The Big Three.
She should have gone to the Big Three. To hell with the WNBA. They're nothing. They're nobody.
Let's acknowledge the fact that Caitlin could be the defining face of the WNBA over the next decade. It's like if the NBA emphasized Dennis Rodman or Dwight Howard as much as they do with Michael Jordan or Steph Curry. Every design, advertisement, and promotion seems to highlight Caitlin Clark, leaving fans to express their frustration. Many are saying, enough already, stop comparing them. One is good, but the other is a once-in-a-generation talent.
The people have chosen Caitlin Clark. They enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot. Whether it's because her game mirrors one of the greatest players in the NBA in Steph Curry or not, I don't know what it is. It's an intangible thing, right? Yes, we can say she's a dog. Okay, there's been other dogs. Okay, she's a great shooter. There's been other great shooters. She has it. She's got the thing.
Let's analyze the statistics. The Chicago Sky have a record of 8 wins and 15 losses when Angel Reese plays, even when she achieves a double-double, indicating that her individual performance does not significantly impact the team's success. In contrast, the Indiana Fever have a record of 10 wins and 5 losses when Caitlin Clark records a double-double. These numbers highlight the substantial impact of Clark's double-double performances on her team's success. Fans have been vocal about their concerns regarding the violence faced by Caitlin Clark in every game. Many have taken to social media to call out Stephen A. Smith, ESPN, and Dwyane Wade, urging the league to take action. It's unacceptable that other players are getting away with taking cheap shots at her, and many are eager for the WNBA to address this issue promptly.
When I look at Caitlin Clark, fans are tuning in to watch her, and you know who that's helping? Everybody else!
What Caitlin Clark does is kind of simple, really. She shows up at games, she signs autographs, she talks to little girls wearing jerseys, she smiles to the crowd, and then here's the most important thing. She competes like a maniac. I mean like a maniac.
The league's ongoing stagnation is a cause for concern among fans. There is growing frustration over the excessive aggression directed at Caitlin Clark, and many feel that Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has not taken the necessary steps to address this issue.
Right now, I've got to give the edge to Caitlin Clark. I mean, not only is she playing incredibly well, but she's one of the catalysts for her team. I am giving the edge to Caitlin Clark in the Rookie of the Year race.
Every time Caitlin gets fouled, we can't make it seem like she was assaulted.
Super strong, angry lesbian culture is going to destroy Caitlin Clark.
In the latest game, one player demonstrated outstanding performance, while another struggled to make an impact, raising questions about the support she requires to improve her stats.
But every time you see something relative to Angel Reese, what's it about? It's about her. It's not about her team, it's about her. One makes it about her, the other makes it about us.
Caitlin Clark's impressive contributions are driving the league forward, but Reese's performance seems to harken back to an earlier era, lacking the dynamism and skill expected in today's game. The controversy surrounding the recent violent foul against Caitlin in the WNBA has left fans deeply frustrated.
I don't care how good you are. Your team loses, we're moving on to the next, particularly with the NFL season starting and college football starting. Are you kidding me? So here in Indiana, we're going to celebrate Caitlin Clark all through the playoffs, see how far it goes, see how great it is or isn't. In Chicago, probably going to be a passing thing. Probably going to be a one-hit wonder. And the reason is simple. One makes it about her, the other makes it about us.
Many are questioning the league's approach to handling flagrant fouls and are urging for stricter penalties to be imposed.
Y'all see the woman speed up. Y'all see her, Caitlin Clark is getting the crowd and going. Y'all see Skylar Diggins speed up to make contact with her. Stop this. Y'all mad because that corn-fed Iowa girl busting y'all ass. Y'all said she too weak. She can't do this. She lead the WNBA in assists. She cooking. Let her cook. Let her cook.
The repeated pairing of Reese and Clark in promotional material has sparked widespread criticism, with fans expressing concerns about the safety of star players like Caitlin. There's a growing sense of outrage at the league's perceived inaction in the face of such incidents.
Candace Wiggins, she played for Stanford. She claims that she was bullied by WNBA players. She says she was bullied because she's straight. And she says that 98% of the league is lesbians.
The potential for serious harm to players like Caitlin is causing a significant rift between the fans and the league, with many expressing their dismay by threatening to boycott the WNBA. The fear of history repeating itself, as it did after the Kennedy Carter incident, is driving fans to call for immediate and decisive action to prevent further injuries.
You know when's the last time I watched a WNBA game? Never.
The WNBA was nothing before Caitlin Clark.
The widespread rumors suggesting that certain WNBA players harbor animosity towards Caitlin Clark and are resorting to unsportsmanlike conduct against her are not only baseless, but also pose a serious threat. These unfounded allegations not only put the accused players at risk of becoming targets for overzealous fans, but also have the potential to incite dangerous behavior. It is essential to address and dispel these rumors before they escalate into something more serious.
Do you know what Caitlin Clark just got the contract from Nike?
Nike.
You know what the contract is?
I want to say it's $3 million a year for 8 to 10 years. It's almost $30 million, something like that.
And I'm so happy for her to get the $28 million.
Name another company that just loses money, and we're like, yeah, let's keep talking about this company for the last 25 years.
On Wednesday, there was an unsettling incident involving a fan and Kennedy Carter of the Chicago Sky at their hotel in Washington, D.C. The fan reportedly harassed Carter, following her and repeatedly asking if she had contacted Courtney Vandersloot since delivering the infamous hip check. The situation was ultimately diffused by the heightened security measures put in place this season, and the individual was escorted away by Sky Security.
Caitlin Clark is the driving force, and it does seem like there's some resentment, some jealousy, which is sports.
However, this raises concerns about future incidents and the potential for someone to take matters into their own hands if they feel that the WNBA isn't doing enough to protect its players, especially Courtney Vandersloot.
But I'm paying attention to the entire WNBA, and so are other people because of Caitlin Clark.
The ridiculous headlines lately have definitely created an unsafe atmosphere for us. Sky forward Brianna Turner posted on X on Wednesday night. I've been subjected to every racial slur imaginable recently, and my teammates have faced even worse. This situation has spiraled out of control, and it's time for those who think they're supporting Clark to reflect on their actions and the language they're using.
Who gives a shit about WNBA drama? We barely gave a damn about the WNBA before Caitlin Clark.
You know when's the last time I watched a WNBA game? Never.
For these people that are waiting outside the bus for the Chicago Sky team, what the hell is wrong with you? What have we become, a third world soccer country, where when a soccer player gives up their own goal in the World Cup, you're waiting in a bar to shoot him? UConn coach Gino Auriemma expressed his disbelief during a Thursday appearance on the Dan Patrick Show. What the hell are we doing here?
You know, at the level you feel all the praise, that's going to be the same level you feel all the hate. So I feel like I just try to stay right in the middle.
Caitlin Clark has not asked for anyone to come to her defense with pitchforks, recognizing that criticism is part of the game. Despite being just 22 years old, she has handled the criticism with poise, and she hopes that her fans, who are presumably adults, can also show maturity in response. The tiresome narrative of veterans being against rookies and the pressure for rookies to be flawless is exhausting. Cameron Brink, the number 2 pick in the draft after Clark, echoed these sentiments in an interview with Uproxx, expressing frustration with the unrealistic expectations and the lack of understanding of the game exhibited by some people.
One thing Caitlin Clark does maybe better than anybody in sports right now, makes it about others, makes it about team. Think about it. When's the last time you didn't see Caitlin Clark talking about a teammate? When's the last time you saw Caitlin Clark talking about herself or any of the accomplishments that she has had? Let me give you the answer to that. Never. Never. You never hear that. Now, that's why their team has gotten good. She could have been an egomaniac. Everybody in the league knows that she is the league. But every time you see something relative to Angel Reese, what's it about? It's about her. It's not about her team. It's about her. One makes it about her. The other makes it about us.
Brink's point brings attention to the unreasonable expectations placed on high-profile rookies in the WNBA. There seems to be a lingering question of why a talented player like Clark has not single-handedly propelled the Indiana Fever to the top of the league. The demand for her to consistently make long-range three-pointers from the logo reflects an unrealistic view of her abilities. However, Brink's comments also direct focus on the lack of awareness regarding the physical demands of the league.
We saw in the second half of the season and the second half of this game, the team that was more together. The team that was more together was clearly the Indiana Fever, and the Indiana Fever routed the Chicago Sky.
While it's commendable that Clark has garnered a new following for the WNBA and shed light on the league's talent, some of these new fans are forming opinions based on unrealistic ideals. The WNBA has always been known for its physicality, and rookies, who may not have encountered this level of competition in college or had the opportunity to build their strength, are likely to face challenges. Clark, known for her ability to shoot from various spots on the court, will undoubtedly face intense defensive pressure throughout the game. It's vital for the fan base to recognize the demanding nature of the WNBA and show respect for the players who compete at such a high level. As Auriemma pointed out, the overzealous fan base's expectations can be disparaging to the talented and hard-working athletes in the league.
I think Caitlin Clark's WNBA peers are going to break her. I'm not alone in that thought. Charles Barkley, LeBron James, and countless others can see what I can see. The level of pressure on Clark to rescue the floundering league, combined with the amount of jealousy racism, and anti-heterosexual bigotry directed at Clark, combined with the incompetence of the Indiana Fever organization, are going to permanently destroy Caitlin Clark. That is my prediction. I do not see a path to success for Clark, not a sustainable path.
In the world of sports, no one is immune to the physicality of hard hits and rough fouls. Carter's cheap shot on Clark was clearly out of line and unacceptable. Similarly, Jonquel Jones's foul on Angel Reese in a previous match also raised some eyebrows. The recent game between the Las Vegas Aces and Dallas Wings witnessed Aja Wilson suffering a brutal hit to the face while driving to the basket, resulting in a bloody nose. Additionally, Arike Ogunbowale and Alicia Clark both faced a challenging moment as they struggled to regain their footing after colliding at full speed and hitting the floor hard. These incidents serve as stark reminders of the physical toll that athletes endure in the pursuit of victory.
WNBA, I'm talking players, coaches, and refs. They're all a bunch of Caitlin Clark haters. They're all a bunch of jealous haters.
Yep.
They are just working themselves up about Caitlin Clark just to hate on her. Skylar Diggins is bumping her. Their girls are complaining on the bench. Referees are getting into it now. They're all a bunch of haters.
The issue at hand extends beyond just Clark. It's a widespread matter within the entire league. Jones expressed to USA Today's Sports on Tuesday night, ahead of the Liberty's matchup against the Sky, that she doesn't believe it's personal. According to her, it's all about intense competition at a high level. She emphasized that the teams Clark competes against employ similar tactics against other players. Thus, it's not solely about Clark. It reflects the overall style of play in the league. The discussions involving race and homophobia, which undeniably play a role in this matter, are worrisome. Clark, being a white woman in a predominantly black league, and specifically a straight white woman in a league where nearly 29% of players openly identify as LGBTQ, as reported in a 2022 Interbasket study, sparks the need for special consideration. It's not just about her playing style, but also about her identity and the competitors she faces. Consider why there was widespread national attention on Carter's foul on Clark, while other similarly egregious plays received minimal coverage, if any, on sports broadcasts. This stark contrast raises important questions. For example, would Nancy Lieberman have ever suggested that a black player should retaliate against an opponent, as she did in the case of Clark? It's crucial to contemplate the potential backlash had her advice been followed by a black player. Acknowledging the privilege that younger white players often have in the league, Brink stated, "There's a privilege that comes with being white and appearing feminine." She emphasized the need for greater acceptance of diverse playing styles, highlighting her willingness to challenge stereotypes. Brink also expressed her desire for individuals to be recognized for their true selves, rather than solely for their outward appearance. She mentioned that while she personally embraces a more feminine style of dress, her aim is to promote inclusivity for all.
Man, if someone could just help her figure out how to perform offensively, man, she's going to be a real impact player in the WNBA. Instead, because she compares herself to Caitlin Clark, actually we're sitting there going like, man, this woman can barely shoot a layup.
It is crucial to acknowledge the troubling historical pattern in the United States where white women have been depicted as needing protection from people of color and the resulting harm this has inflicted. Therefore, it is disconcerting, though not surprising, if these damaging narratives about the WNBA contribute to perpetuating similar toxic attitudes.
That's why her stuff gets swatted and when she heaves it at the basket. But her biggest problem is the Caitlin Clark comparison. She's being destroyed by chasing the Rookie of the Year thing, which she has no chance, so she wants to be a dynamic offensive player, and she's just not right now. She's a great rebounder, great energy, very good player. But comparing herself and attaching herself to Caitlin Clark is actually destroying Angel Reese.
During the basketball game on Sunday, tension rose between Indiana Fever's coach Christy Sides and Seattle Storm's coach Noelle Quinn as the match was coming to an end. The disagreement stemmed from the decision of the Indiana Fever not to substitute its starters after the Seattle Storm had already made substitutions. This caused heated exchanges between the two coaches on the sidelines, particularly as the game seemed to be slipping away from the Storm. In the midst of a heated discussion between the Sides and Quinn on the court, there was an unexpected moment as rookie guard Caitlin Clark of the Fever appeared on the Jumbotron at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. She seemed to address the Storm players, urging them to stop crying. The Indiana Fever's recent victory over the Seattle Storm has caused quite a stir in the basketball world. Leading up to the game, the betting odds heavily favored Seattle, who had previously defeated the Fever in their last two matchups and were considered strong playoff contenders. However, the game's conclusion was filled with unexpected drama, defying the predictions and expectations. After recent events, there has been a substantial amount of discussion surrounding the behavior of Seattle's coach Noelle Quinn. New footage that has surfaced portrays Quinn in a negative light, with many questioning her sportsmanship following a loss. This has prompted concerns about professionalism within the league, as highlighted by Outkick in their recent coverage. It's evident that the league's struggle with viewership may be attributed to the perceived lack of professionalism displayed by both coaches and players. Furthermore, Caitlin Clark's influence on the league remains a widely discussed topic. I came across a video that I found particularly intriguing. In the clip, Caitlin Clark is seen making her way back to her team when she is unexpectedly shoved with significant force by a player from the Seattle Storm. The impact of the shove is quite striking, and it's definitely something worth watching.
Should there be a co-rookie of the year? Because Angel Reese is, of course, doing historical things with her double-doubles as a rookie, and Caitlin Clark already has set a million records and looks completely unstoppable, especially when it comes to dishing. And it feels like we are both on the same page here.
No, they're not equal.
Noelle Quinn was feeling frustrated as she couldn't help but think that Christy Sides should have made the decision to pull the starters earlier in the game, a move commonly referred to as emptying the bench. However, I couldn't help but wonder about the unwritten rule in professional basketball that seems to suggest this action should be taken. It's one of those frustrating unwritten rules that often come up in sports, and it made me think about the nature of professional basketball and the expectations surrounding player substitutions.
We don't care about your color. We don't care if you're married, single, divorced. We don't care about anything. We love humble underdogs. We just do.
The WNBA is at a crossroads, and the controversies surrounding Caitlin Clark are just the tip of the iceberg. As the league grapples with its challenges and the spotlight intensifies, the future of women's basketball hangs in the balance. Will the WNBA rise to the occasion and address the issues at hand? Or will it continue to falter under the weight of its own drama? We want to hear from you. How do you think the league should handle these pressing concerns? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth analyses and updates. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned as we continue to follow this unfolding story. See you next time.